Okay, Barry, the first bit of business through the door, aside from Joe Taylor, of course, becoming permanent, was Barley Mumba from Norwich. Talk us about how that deal came to fruition.
Well, about a month ago, I approached Norwich and they said they had COVID problems and injury problems and they were struggling to make up the numbers. They said they would let him out on loan, but not until some of their players recovered from injury or COVID. So it was a long wait really, and it was a difficult deal, although it was done a month ago. My object was, when I met the gaffer and we met the chairman, was to get people in even before the 1st of January so that they could get to know everybody and we could hit the ground running when we played our January games. Obviously what helped us a bit was a couple of games called off and what have you, because all our targets had the same problem, in as much as their clubs couldn't afford to let them go because they was in their squads playing Saturday, Tuesday, and they had to keep them because of numbers with COVID rife throughout the country. So it was, but what a debut the boy made, you know. We signed him really as a right back as we knew him, and the gaffer put him on at half time as a left back, and he deservedly got man of the match. He was fantastic. Lovely, lovely lad as well. Wants to come, wants to play, wants to help us out of the situation we're in, and you know, always got a smile on his face. It was a great first signing in January, no doubt about that.
Stephen Bender was the second. Is a goalkeeper deal more difficult because, in essence, I suppose more for the manager, I guess, if you're bringing someone in on loan because they're coming in because they want to play. Was that deal easier or difficult to do?
It was an easy deal to deal with Russell Martin. That was the easy part. He was signing a goalkeeper from Milton Keynes that he obviously knew and brought into Milton Keynes. And, you know, the difficulty I had was with obviously the hierarchy at Swansea in paying his wages and things like that, because, you know, he had the first 6 or 7 games in Swansea's first team, and you know, they rate him as £1 million player. So, you know, it was a difficult deal in as much, and I had to have some help, and I couldn't believe both the agent and the player took cuts to come here to give him an opportunity to play and help us survive in this league. So, you know, Swansea was good as well because they contributed to his wages. And but I've never known a player or an agent to combine together a loss of money to help the player come here. So, and that was another frustrating thing. You know, I told the gaffer 3 or 4 weeks ago we'd done this deal, but again he had to wait till he got the boy in from Milton Keynes, and you know, then when we did get the okay and got him in, the medical, the other end, for the Milton Keynes goalie, held the deal up for several days. So it was a frustrating one, but delighted to get that over the line. I think with those two in particular, absolutely magnificent loan signings for the club. Both of them played at a better level than us, if you know what I mean. And delighted to get them two sorted out, because obviously we're getting rid of Dan permanently to Maidenhead and getting rid of Pimmy on loan till the 30th of June. It was an important position, no question about it. And with Butler having the horrendous injury that he had, it was important we got 1 or 2 fullbacks in as well.
And with the keeper coming in, Will Blackmore's obviously was on the bench. I think the gaffer spoke about potentially getting him out on loan to play games. Is that what you're looking to do?
We've got 2 under-23 games coming up. One at 12 o'clock on Wednesday against Sheffield Wednesday at our training ground, and the following Monday we're here at Western Home Stadium playing Burnley in a cup, I think 1 o'clock. And we're going to use them 2 games to invite people to come in and watch and take 1, 2, 3, 4 of our players out on loan because of the incomings we got. Not as much as financially, but to give these lads a chance to go and play 20 games in the second half of the season, which is what they need.
And obviously this week Callum Morton comes in from West Brom on loan. He'd been on loan at Fleetwood, so I guess part of the process here was they had to get him back to West Brom before they could obviously send him out to you.
That's right. There was a call back in a certain period of time, and unfortunately Callum had been injured in that time, so we didn't really want to sign somebody that was injured. But the two medical teams talked together, and again I had difficulty with dealing with West Brom, but it was all sorted out in the end, and we brought him in, and he can't play against West Brom obviously, but the gaffer wanted him in for 10 days so that he could train with the lads. He knows 2 or 3 of the lads anyway, which is good. But he, up front, he chases everything. He's like Craig McHale-Smith. He had a brilliant loan spell at Northampton when he done very well and helped him get promoted. He was unlucky at Lincoln when he went there. He had a bad injury that kept him out for months, his shoulder. And then I spoke to I went to see Fleetwood at Milton Keynes recently and spoke to their Andy Pelly and their directors, and the boy didn't play in that game. He was injured, but they said he'd been a road runner, never stopped running, never stopped creating, never stopped challenging and all that, and I think the gaffer needs that type of player either to start or to come on. So 3 good bits of business we feel, because as you know with forwards we've got Ricky coming back and Jack Marriott coming back, but you cannot expect them who's missed 6 months of the season to hit the road runnings, particularly with 2 games a week coming up with all the rearranged games we've had to do. They will be an asset to us, there's no doubt about it, but you can't expect them to play every game from now until the end of the season.
Before you go to outgoings, in terms of business coming in, after we're midway through January now, I'm guessing that with the game tomorrow, you're looking at next week and seeing if you can do any more business, but do you have to get people out before you can get more people in now?
No, I think the chairman's been brilliant and his partners have been brilliant. I think what they've done for Peterborough United over the last couple of years in this world crisis of COVID and no income and things like that, they deserve the freedom of Peterborough, because they've kept us going. Not only have they kept us going, they've bought the ground, the academy's jumped up. It's wonderful that we've got the dome up now. It'll cost 1.7 million, it was 1.4, but it's gone up and up with materials and the state of the country. But fair play to Darragh and his 2 partners, because they've funded it, which is marvellous really. And they want to fund another couple of signings for the gaffer to give him the best possible opportunity of having a good second half of the season and retaining our championship status.
Let's talk about the other way. There's been a link between Benjamin Mensah, one of the young players, with a number of clubs actually. It says a lot about the academy, that people are looking within the academy to take players for 23 sides and all that kind of stuff. Is there any news on that?
I have talked to Tottenham, and Tottenham have suggested 1 or 2 things to me, which I told the manager and the chairman about, and they was adamant no. They're still monitoring the situation, Tottenham, but again, Benji's been so unlucky. If he hadn't have had the injuries and COVID twice and things that he's had, he'd have been knocking on the door for the first team as well. But it's nice that clubs like Tottenham recognise his talent and things like that. But although we've talked, we've declined all everything that's been suggested to us at the moment.
And I guess in January you're always going to see players linked with all kinds of clubs, particularly those that aren't playing, like Johnson Clark Harris, for instance, been linked with a whole host of clubs at this moment in time. I guess that's unsurprising given what he did last year.
Well, exactly right. I think he got 36 goals last year. We got him in to get us promotion, and he did. It's the same as Sammy. They got 50 goals between them. And, you know, you're always going to get... I've had half a dozen clubs inquire about Johnson Clark Harris. They're nowhere near our valuation. There is a shortage of strikers about. Jono's been unlucky in as much as he was injured pre-season, he missed pre-season, he didn't start the best. Then he had that problem where he was banned for 4 games. And if you look at his record this year, he's not started too many games for one reason or another. But anybody can score 36 goals in you know, and get Player of the Year and Golden Boot winner and things like that. He's gonna have interest in him. But at the moment, like I say, we've declined all suggestions or offers that we've been had for him and many other of our players as well.